Hey, what is going on, everybody? It's me, FlipArtz, and Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's, and Happy Boxing Day. A lot of you guys have just picked up Black Ops 2 for your console, and you guys are pretty much running around on the game and just killing people or getting killed, and you don't really know exactly what to be using, and seeing all these random weapons, and like the whole game itself is really overwhelming because you don't really know exactly what to use and stuff like that, even though you probably watched, a whole bunch of other videos. But I thought that I would go ahead and not explain, but show you Christmas Noobs or Boxing Day Noobs exactly what weapons you guys should be using and the class setups and stuff like that. It's also a request video from one of my friends that was asking for a noob-friendly class, and so today I'm going to be showing you a Christmas Noob class that I'm putting up together myself. And this is just some personal preferences of mine, because when I started out I didn't know exactly what to use, and throughout the game I started finding the things that suited me best, that helped me get further in the game. So for the primary weapons, this game is very close-quartered combat, except for a couple of maps that are very long-ranged type sniper maps. But there's not many of those, but this game is very close-quarter oriented. So a lot of the time you're going to be running into people who are using submachine guns and or shotguns. And a lot of the shotguns are relatively the same. Some are just more powerful than the other. It's really based on preference. If you want pump actions, semi-automatics, and just, really OP weapons to use. Because the game is very close quarters, a lot of the turns in alleyways are very, compact, and everyone's just running into each other and shooting off bullets. A shotgun is a good way to go, so it really doesn't matter which one you want to choose. It's just based off your own preference for that. Personally, I always run around with submachine guns, and right off the bat, you're always going to unlock the MP7, but if you play a little bit more, you can, and the Vector 10. These three are personally my favorite ones, because they're really good, and if you use them right, they can be very accurate as well. But as a Christmas noob, you could be using the MP7 because you get that one straight off the bat, or you could be getting the PDW or the Vector K10. It's really up to you guys. If it was up to me, it's a toss-up between the MP7 and the Vector K10. But I use the Vector K10 a little bit more than the other two, just because I like the way it shoots and everything like that, and it seems more accurate with me when I use it. But for a Christmas noob, you're going to be using the MP7, which is kind of obvious because you get it straight off the game. It's one of the default unlocks. And the attachments that I always run with any submachine gun is always the laser sight and the long barrel. The reason I use this is because the laser sight will allow me to just hip fire, and I won't have to aim down the sights as often. And the long barrel increases the range and apparently the damage, but I know for a fact that it increases the range quite significantly. So when you're aiming down or even just hip firing, your bullets will go a lot farther and be a little bit more accurate. Well, in my case, it's been that way as well. The laser sight just helps out a lot and helps the accuracy as well. So it kind of complements each other and helps each other out very well. But of course, you're not going to get the long barrel for a while, so you can always use it with the foregrip or the fast mag, whichever one's your preference. I normally just wait until I get the long barrel. So moving on here, as your perks, you're going to use lightweight, you're going to use toughness, and you're going to use either dexterity or extreme conditioning. The reason I use lightweight is, one, you get it right off. It's a default perk that you're going to pick up, and it just seems the best out of all these other ones besides Flak Jacket and Ghost. A lot of people end up using Ghost because it's very OP of a perk, but me personally, I run with lightweight. You move faster, and you don't take fall damage. Toughness, when you're being shot at, it'll help you kind of win some gunfights here and there, because when you're shooting back, you're getting shots taken, but you're not going to flinch as much when you're doing it as well. So this is, for me, kind of the best perk out of the whole second perk tier besides Scavenger. And for dexterity, you can toss up between dexterity, or not dexterity, for perk 3, you can toss up between dexterity and extreme conditioning. I find that these two are pretty much the best perks out of the whole thing, except aside the fact that you can use Tactical Mask. This one is actually really OP of a perk because you can run through pretty much any of the flashbangs, concussions, or shock charges without even feeling anything at all. So it's a really good perk, but as a Christmas noob, one of these two is fine. It's really based off which one you want to do, running for longer, or if you want to aim faster after sprinting, and you can climb and stuff like that faster. But me personally, I go with dexterity, and later on when you unlock perk 3 greed, you can also pick up that too. And this is normally the setup that I run with as well. This is pretty much what I use every time I use any other type of submachine gun. So it's really up to you whatever gun you want to use. But as a Christmas noob, you're going to be using a setup close to this. And for your lethals, that's also by your own preference. It's really if you want to use a grenade or a semtex. Do you like cooking your grenade, or do you like having it timed and you throw it and it sticks to people? For me, I like to cook it and be a chef and just kill off a certain amount of people and know when I can throw that potato. And for tactical, a lot of people are going to be using concussions. It's the first one you get. Relatively, any of the first weapons or items that you get in this game are the best ones by far, in my opinion, that are worth using. So you're going to be using a lot of concussions as well. If you're going to go the more non-rush route and you want to be more safe and secure and more cautious and take your time and move in and move out, you're going to want to go with the assault rifles. A lot of people use assault rifles as well, but not as much as I've seen for using submachine guns or shotguns. You do unlock the MTAR as well, and later on you're going to be unlocking guns like the FAL and the M27. These two are personally my favorite, but you can test that out yourself for later on when you get these guns unlocked. But for now, you're going to have to stick with the MTAR. It's a really good weapon, but I don't use it as much as I used to back in before I reset my stats and stuff like that. But normally when I use this gun, I like to put on quick draw or foregrip, or I don't use laser sights for this one because normally when you're using an assault rifle, you're always going to be aiming down. So it's usually between quick draw or foregrip or stock. It's really not going to be a big difference. And I don't use any reflex sights or anything like that just because I like the iron sights on this gun. It's really good. As a Christmas noob, you're pretty much using all default unlocks, basically. As for the secondaries, I normally don't run with secondaries, but if you had to, or if you want to, the secondaries for pistols would be either the 5.7 or the B23R. They're just beasts, and if you can if you have a really good trigger finger for the 5.7, that works really good as well. And the B23R is basically like mini M16s in your hand, or mini FAMASs, or the Rafikas back from MW2. They're really powerful. You can pretty much kill someone with one burst if you get them right in the head as well. It takes like 2 shots to the body, I'm pretty sure. So anyway, this is pretty much the setup that I normally run with, and it's really up to you, Christmas noobs, how you want to do with it. And after a while, you'll kind of understand the way to go. So that's that. And to use the Scorestreaks, I normally run with the UAV, Hunter Killer Drone, and Lightning Strike because they all flow really well together. You get the UAV after a couple kills and or capping flags or any objective stuff, and then soon after that you're going to get this. And then after getting a kill with that, and then maybe one more kill, you'll unlock this. So it's really not that bad. It's a really good Scorestreaks to go with. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. If you guys have any suggestions, any comments, or any questions, leave them down in the comment section below, and I will answer them for you. And if you guys can guess what the next emblem is that is coming up, please leave a comment down below. If you get it right, I will leave your YouTube link in the description and a big annotation link on the video itself. Thank you guys for watching. Have a Merry Christmas and or Boxing Day and or Happy New Year.